Some days ago, the new Nigeria's People's Party, NNPP, officially presented Bishop Isaac Idahosa as his running mate to Senator Robbie Musa Kwankwaso, the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 general election. The presidential candidate, Senator Kwankwaso, at the event says himself and his running mate are committed to changing the country from the current situation it is now. Tonight, I have joining me live from Abuja, the running mate and the vice presidential candidate of the NNPP, Bishop Isaac Idahosa. Thank you so much, Bishop, for joining us tonight on the program. Let's begin this conversation by getting to some clarification. When we were having the conversation about bringing you on the program, there are a lot of people who thought that you are the son of the Archbishop Benson Idahosa. You share a lot of similarity in name and in state of origin. Just for the benefit of our viewers who may not know, what can you tell us about your relationship with Archbishop Benson Idahosa?
Good evening, Nigerians within and in the diaspora. Well, like rightly said, I hailed from Edo State, and there is no blood relationship with the blessed memory, Archbishop Benson Idahosa. Only share a common name.
It's clear to everyone who has been asking me the question as soon as I was saying that you were coming on the program. So let's get to it. You as a person, Nigerians would like to know you. You are the vice presidential candidate of the NNPP. What do you bring to the table? What profile would you say you have, or what is the requisite pedigree that will fit the job or the role in which your principal is asking you to come and play in the nation Nigeria?
Thank you so very much. Now, I've been a pastor for 33 years, and that's what we call church politicking. And that's to say, after your spiritual assignments, you deal with the people from across the nook and cranny, the Hausas, the Igbos, the Edo, the Kanuris, the Dakarkaris, name them. So you have them in church, and you will have to manage them. You have to learn how to manage people and their resources as a pastor. And so this will come to bear, especially where Nigeria today is so divided, there's no trust at all. So I'm coming with the healing. What I mean healing, the healing together as a multicultural, multi-ethnic and religious nation. We need it so much so that, you see, you have to have a nation. You have to have a Nigeria to be able to run with. We need peace. And of course, you do know, where there is no peace, progress cannot be enforced, no matter how much you try. And so that's what we are trusting God to help us get involved into this ticket, getting involved in it, to be able to foster this coexistence, to share our prospects and our challenges without upheavals. And I am in it to be able to foster a coexistence between the Christian world and the Muslim world and other religious sects. Notwithstanding, this is Nigeria. I was in Jamaica in 1994. The first signpost I found outside the airport was, we are not just in Jamaica, we are for Jamaica. The spirit of patriotism to helping us to knowing that we don't have any other country other than this. And let's look out to shedding our differences and then believing that things will change as a new Nigeria.
Having said that, you trained as an engineer of Edo heritage, grew up in Niger State, have your ministry in Lagos State. You mentioned that the nation is largely divided. In this division, you say you are bringing healing. And tonight, a lot of Nigerians, wherever they may be watching tonight, either they're in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria, are concerned about one thing, that whoever they want to hire must have the pedigree, the requisite, the requirement to be able to lead the nation. I mean, you will not bring a managing director of a company that doesn't have what it takes to run such a company. So to run the Nigeria, if it's a company, we need people who can manage it. Since you mentioned the issue of division and healing Nigeria, how would you start, or how does your party NNPP hope to heal Nigeria should you win the election?
There is what's already on ground now, the interfaith community, where the Muslims, the Christians come rub minds to see how we're able to sit down to know where we went wrong and what we must need to do to ensuring we salvage the situation. You see, we must be frank. No legacy is so rich as honesty. When we get to a point where we are now openly honest to ourselves and the common good of this country, we have no holds back to be able to say, these are our differences, our diversities, but how do we deduce strength? These are the things we keep on dialoguing, keep on talking. That is the spirit. I have been pastoring Sheung for 33 years and still counting. I began ministry in 1989 in Niger State. Then from Niger State, Lagos, and across Nigeria and the diaspora, that's outside the country. So I've been able to meet with all manner of people of different backgrounds, ethnic groups, as a pastor. Now, you see, the preaching aspect of Christianity is different from the day-to-day running, the management. The running of the church is not left for the spirit. You have to use your mind. So once you can engage your mind to ensuring that you're able to resolve conflicts in church, wider space, you can't overemphasize the need for human management in our churches today.
I would like to, because as Nigerians are getting to meet you, they will be asking the questions. There are a lot of questions on their mind. And one fundamental question is your personality, your person, who you are, because if they are going to give you their vote, they need to understand whom they are giving the votes to. Now, a big question here is what you bring politically speaking. No doubt, you are an outsider. You are a newcomer in the political scene, in the real political scene in Nigeria. So in terms of the politics side of things, for Senator Kwankwaso, who was a former governor, a former minister, how many votes can you boast that the Isaac Idahosa brand or name can bring to the NNPP?
We are in for a shocker, sure. We'll sit down again and talk over these. You see, today they can say it's impossible, but tomorrow they will say congratulations. We're already consulting, wider consultations going on, and one-on-one, each one reach one even before the campaign. Anyways, we are not campaigning for now, but I'm telling you that we have been doing a broader consultations. Now calling that I'm new into politicking, like I've just told you, politicians worship in churches. And I've got politicians in church. They brought their problems and to be able to solve. If you can provide solution to problems, then that's the same thing you deal with people. Human capital management. I'm just enjoying this. I'm enjoying this, and we'll look forward to the campaign. I think that's going to be a big shocker for those who are in doubt of what we are able to pull out. Time shall tell.
So give us an idea. How is NNPP different from any of the political party? How does the average Nigerian how should they see NNPP? What does your party bring to the table differently from any of the political parties?
You see, the rise and fall of anything, like I would always say, falls on leadership. The leadership approach of my principal, Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, is what has endeared me to him. And of course, the Talakawas. Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, of course, you know, has got his teeth in the political field. his selfless, sensitive way of attending to people, investing in education like never before. Track record's been there. Go to Kano, not just Kano, spreads across. He has raised and trained pilots, trained doctors, teachers, lecturers, spread around, not just necessarily Hausa or Kano. Igbos, Yorubas have enjoyed from his magnanimity, ensuring that education is important. You know, education is key, very much more. Ignorance is expensive to maintain. The reason why we are in this quagmire today is that, you see, what you don't know is bigger than you. This man is a unifier. He's a man of honesty, a man with a sincere purpose and very focused man. He is selfless. He listens with an intention to provide a solution. So we are going to do things differently. Sincerity is key. Honesty is key. Competence is key. And of course, when you begin to look at the attributes of this Jagora, we call him the Madugu, you can but tell that he's not coming into it for new. Imagine he was in the civil service for many, many, many years before he entered into the House of Rep as the Deputy Speaker many years ago. He was Chief of Defense, Minister of Defense during Obasanjo's regime. He's been governor twice. He's been a senator and an ambassador. So you can see what we are bringing to bear. Shame. Education is key. We are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Who we are, what we should be doing as a nation, casting blames and running down different regimes. You see, when you know you're in a place to provide solution, you will talk less about the wrong, you face the right. Now let me just use this. In Genesis chapter 1, there was darkness all over, and God was not bothered or distracted by darkness, because who you give attention gives you direction. And God said, let there be light. He foreknew nothing would ever happen. No progress would ever be in place without light. And that's education. We believe that the same zest, tenacity, Kano was transformed, is going to be coming on board larger scale. And of course, then you can talk of insecurity and what have you. You talk about curbing corruption. Every other thing has to be that we have to have a change of paradigm. We must have something in the light of progress to talk about. When we know where we belong, that this is our country, we don't have any other country, we will safeguard it, we will protect it, we will preserve it, we will do what it takes to ensuring that peace, harmony is realized. That's key. That's why I began by saying healing. A lot of mistrust going on, no equity, no fairness, and no justice. And for peace to thrive, justice must not only be seen said, must be seen done. If I may digress a little bit, you find the federal character today is lopsided.
Fundamental things that have come to bear in today's Nigeria. Excuse me. And these two things are making headlines today. One reason that the labor union or the workers on the street protesting today is because of the education. And security is on the lips of everyone because we're worried. And in Abuja, the AFCT, there are warning signals about some of the threats that the security agencies may be receiving and they are facing currently. But let's touch on the education sector for instance. Now, what solution do you have? You know, what is happening as far as brain drain is concerned? A lot of fantastic Nigerians will get trained here, but they cannot cope and they had to go. A lot of people are complaining about quality of education. They had to leave. ASU is on strike. Now, the question is, what would you be doing differently? What idea do you have in fixing the education sector? Have you had that discussion with your principal just yet?
So, yeah, we must sit down, round table, discuss, give ASU a listening ear. You see, God gave us 2 ears so we can hear from both sides. And if the government has got some predicaments, sit them down, look out for possible solution to this. Nobody wants to go out there, begin to go on strike and devoiding them of their times and resources, energy. You see, the generation to come will not forgive us if we don't do the right thing. ASU is on strike because the deals struck with government is not being kept. Now, when you fail in your word, you fail in your worth. So we must mind it, and we are not doing them any favor solving this problem. We are doing ourselves favor solving this problem. Now, when they go on strike, it means productivity will be reduced. It means production will be reduced. Now, the productivity and production will be impaired where this is not put in place, and it will be the stealer of our time, our resources, and of course, our energy. The young boys are home. You see, crime is being perpetuated because people are not busy. Fastest way to curbing crime is to ensuring people are busy, doing what will enhance their lives, improve their lives and their family. So we must get down, talk. You can't be tired talking. You can't be tired talking. God created the whole universe by speaking. And so we sit down, dialogue, dialogue, dialogue until solution is preferred.
So, but I mean, if you were in the
then we must look at our curriculum today.
If you have the power to fix this ASU problem today, what would you do?
Like I mentioned to you, we must sit down and talk and tell them possible solution. We must draw a roadmap to, if we are not able to solve everything because of how much it has accumulated, we're able to begin, especially, let's say one thing and not do another thing. Let trust be built. There is a distrust among ASU and the federal government. Why? Because the government have been shifting posts. So if ASU does know that the government is sincere with what they are saying they will do, and they see antecedents that this has been, they will be able to now say, well, they said one thing yesterday and they kept their words, so let's treat our swords. Let's look forward to seeing that the problems are solved.
Quickly, we are due for a break on a security issue. That is a cause of worry for a lot of Nigerians. Is there any strategy? You'll be working with a man who was a former Minister of Defense. What would be the strategy? What is the idea of the NNPP as far as security is concerned in fixing what has become a fundamental challenge to our existence as a people?
You see, one, let's go about heal. Let's not aggravate issues. Let's heal the nation by dialoguing. Two, the welfare of our personnel that go right battlefield. We must consider their welfare. Bottom line is that people must be accountable for their actions or inaction. If budgeting has been for this, it must be seen as done. You can't expect one who is not in his right mind to go face someone who has got more sophisticated weaponry. Nobody wants to do that. We must be sincere with ourselves and look out for the procurement. What have we done? Who have we held accountable? Now, when there's responsibility without accountability, anything can go. Things will go in disarray. But once people are now held accountable for their actions or inactions, people will sit up and let our armed forces be doing their operations with joy. Now, you can see some attacks here and there, potholes of attacks here and there. Even the last one is Kuje. And like I gathered that for 3 hours, they were operating in Kuje. So where is it? Where are the armed forces? Again, some have come out to say that information has been given by the secret services. Why was there no prompt action? For you to operate for 3 hours and there's no interrogation, there's no contrary attack to ensuring that people are salvaged. We must sit down so we don't become enemies of ourselves. They said, Yoruba says, an enemy.
We need to take a break on the program, and when we come back, our closing moment with you because we have our eyes also on the security situation in the country, and I have my guests here in the studio who are going to be dissecting and looking at solutions that the nation needs to explore. So I'll conclude the moment with Bishop Isaac Idahosa after the break, and when we come back, our attention is on security, the national security question, the solutions, right here on the program. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Our closing moment with Bishop Isaac Idahosa, the vice presidential candidate of the NNPP. Thank you so much indeed. Just some few minutes before we switch gears. You talked about dialogue in fixing this security challenge. Would you be dialoguing also with these terrorists, or how do you hope to approach the treatment of these killers?
Whatever it takes for peace to be restored to Nigeria, we'll do it. Politeness has won more victory than gunpowder. If they will attend to dialoguing, that would be awesome. All we are asking is for peace, and peace will ginger progress. Very important.
Now, on a final note, I'd like to know, what is your strategy in winning this election? It looks to me like you're very confident about the NNPP and the Kwankwaso Idahosa ticket. What gives you that confidence?
Sean, we are in it to win it. And we have strategized, and I would not want to come right on national television to be giving our strategy. Strategy is stronger than strength. And over time, when the embargo is lifted on campaign, people begin to see our moves. Now we are consulting, and we are moving. We are a moving force that cannot be contained. It's like a flood. In an attempt to stop a flood, you create more ways for it. So we are infiltrating, we are getting into different states, and I don't want to open up to our moves, but it's a shocker coming to Nigeria, New Nigerian People's Party.
It will be interesting to see this sort of shocker that you're talking about. But for those who would like to know, as soon as your name came up that you are the running mate to Senator Kwankwaso, video of your worship style, I mean, a lot of people know that you're a charismatic preacher, but at some of your service session, a video of you came up. What would you say to those who are commenting about your worship style and your approach to your Christian faith?
I'm not called to everybody. I'm called to a people who will believe in the grace of God invested upon me. Now, you don't deny the supernatural. In Luke chapter 4, verse 18, Jesus went into the synagogue, and he took a book as it was written of prophet Isaiah. As the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, he's anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, his deliverance to the captives, and healing. Now, long story short, is a place of demonstrating the power of God. Some have come with the enticing words Brother Paul wrote the other day, but he's come with the demonstration of the power of God for deliverance. Obadiah verse 17 says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance and holiness, then the house of Jacob shall possess her possession. It's a way of tidying systems and bringing sanity to those ones that have been oppressed, possessed of the devil. And so that is it. That's what we call the power of the anointing. It's a supernatural energy from God helping us to do supernatural work naturally. Those who believe in what we do, you don't make people see what you see at once. Over time, there are those who have criticized it in time past that needed the help tomorrow, and we deployed on the power of God for their salvation. That's all.
Thank you so much, Bishop Isaac Idahosa, for talking to us tonight. Perhaps if should you win the election, maybe you might be missing the pulpit, or maybe the Aso Villa might be a more comfortable place to show off your grace. Thank you so much indeed, Bishop Isaac Idahosa, the running mate to Senator Robbie Kwankwaso. So thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Nigerians.